Shalom. Call Haloyam La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Chakodash. Bakta Yahweh, Bakta Yahweh Shai, Bakta Chakodash, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Chakodash. Shalom and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders in the Akim and the Akwath of the hopeful elect. Shalom. Just want to go into a quick video the Spirit put on me about faith, about pleasing the Most High and staying strong. It's entitled This Isn't For Nothing. Stay strong in the faith, because we go through manifold temptations. You catch hell when you come into the truth, because why are you rejecting your flesh and following the Lamb Yahushua whithersoever he goeth? And it's not for everybody. That's why many are called but few are chosen, because this truth is going to weed out a lot of people, the great sifting. But you just stay strong in the faith and pray the Most High never take his spirit away from you, to endure this arduous, bumpy ride, so to speak, right down the straight and narrow path. But it's no better reward, no better life to live than to suffer for righteousness' sake, in the name of Yahushua. So we'll start here in the book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. Who? Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahushua. Because Yahushua is our mediator. It's the only way we can receive that mercy and to be accepted by the Most High. For he that cometh to Yahweh in the name of Yahushua must believe that he is. That's what his name. That's Yahweh's name. Yah means he, and Hawa means exists. He exists. He is. He is to be. So you must believe that he exists and that he is. From eternity, from the ancient of times to the very beginning, before the earth was formed, until now, and then forever, for eternity. For he that cometh to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. And when the word diligently means what does that mean? An active, present, every day, meditation of the scriptures in the spirit. You diligently seeking every day and meditating upon the words of the Most High and growing in the spirit, because the spirit is greater, and you're filling, your spirit with righteousness. As if not, you're void, from within. So the Most High is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So let's get this word rewarder. So rewarder here, says one who pays wages, a rewarder. So the Most High is going to pay a wage at the end of this thing, and that's of a guaranteed fact. And let me see real quick, milk scripture right here, because the Most High of a certainty will reward those. The Most High is not an unrighteous power to forget your labor of love. So Psalms 37 and 37, mark the perfect man. Psalms 19 and 7 breaks down what perfect is. The law is perfect. So keeping the laws to the best of your ability in the name of Yahushua. So mark the perfect man, one who keeps the commandments. And behold the upright. And what's upright? The commandments. For the end of that man is peace. So the Most High is that's the reward. Everlasting peace. And through his Son, who is the Prince of Peace, right? King of the Prince of Peace, yeah. In the book of Isaiah, So through Yahushua that peace come, because through his blood we are covered and cleansed and brought back to the Most High and accepted, those few men of the elect. So it says the elect of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, who are the 12 tribes of Israel. So it says I'll start in the middle of verse 6. For he that cometh to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So by your faith, your works are going to shine forth. And what's your works? Diligently seeking the Most High. Studying to show yourself approved, reading, being occupied in the prophecies, and having a faith. And through your faith, you're going to be doing those things on a night in, on a day in, and night in, and day in, day out, day out, day in, day out, night in, night out, right? This app isn't working for whatever reason. Let me see. Shoot. Man. Okay, here we go. I want to get that word rewarder, G3406, Mr. Podotis, something like that. One who pays wages, a rewarder. And then let's see where I want to go from there. One who pays the wages, right? So the Most High. So we're spiritually laboring, spiritual workers in the spirit, not in the flesh. So Matthew 6 and 33. Take therefore no thought. Oh, Slaki. Excuse me. Verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, and his righteousness, which is of the law, Romans 10 and 5. So we must seek first the kingdom of the Most High by seeking after his laws, rehearsing the righteous acts of his commandments. And the righteous acts are the laws or the acts. And all these things shall be added unto you. And that's the kingdom of heaven to come. And that salvation, that salvation, which is the translation into the kingdom of heaven. When we get those new bodies. So Hebrews 11 and 6 again. Want to get that word rewarder. Oh, Salaki. Okay, yeah, going back to that. Rewarder. So the Most High, staying strong in the faith to the end, the Most High will pay out the wages to every man that diligently seek him. One who pays wages. Real quick, let's go to Matthew. So like I have a complex notes when I was writing down. Kind of choppy a little bit. All right, so Matthew 20 and verse 1. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. Verse 2. Let's see. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny, he sent them into his vineyard. So that's the hopeful elect, that's laboring in the vineyard. The vineyard is that vine, that one plant, which is the Israelites, to bring in the flock to the fold, to bid them to the marriage of the kingdom of heaven, come back to the body of Yahweh Shah. In verse 5, again he went out about the 6th and 9th hour, and did likewise. So let's get verse 3. And he went out about the 3rd hour, and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. So that 3rd hour, that just represents a time earlier at the beginning of the gospel. And then verse 5, again he went out about the 6th and 9th hour, and did likewise. In verse 6, and about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle. And that's going into those dry bones, the valley of dry bones. You being idle, you're on dead time, and then the valley of dry bones are the Israelites that are alive but standing idle, because why? They don't have the truth. They don't have the spirit of life in them from the truth that quickened their spirit. And then when the laborers who are the elect that awoke, the hopeful elect that awakened to the truth. And they go out to bid many to the marriage, And then so those standing idly by are those that don't know they're Israelites, and then they get hit with the truth, and then they're awakened to the truth. And then they come into the fold of, laboring, if they're sincere and genuine, because many are called, but not everyone that's called is going to be, chosen to be a part of the elect. So that's what was happening. So during this is during the Great Awakening. The hopeful elect are preaching, the prophets, elders, and teachers are teaching and awakening the dormant, the spiritually dormant Israelites that are not awakened to the truth. And so that's what that's going into. In verse 9, and when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. So the 11th hour goes into the midnight. See, that's that doomsday clock, Esau, he knows at the end, when the clock strikes midnight, then that's the end of his rulership, the doomsday for him, but the end of his rulership and the beginning of Jacob that followeth, the kingdom of heaven to come. So no matter if a man awakened in the first, second, or third hour, or a man that woke up at the 11th hour right before the return of the Messiah, they all receive that penny. So that shows you that there's some men that's been in the truth that awakened to the truth in the beginning of the Great Awakening around 1969 that endured, all the way into now. And then there's men that awakened at different points, in the beginning, in the middle, and towards the end now. Men are waking up at different times of the Great Awakening. And no matter if you awakened at the beginning of the Great Awakening or you awakened to the truth at the end of the Great Awakening, right before the Messiah return, every man going to receive that same one penny. Verse 10, but when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more. So he's going to, they believe that, hey, we've been in it from a lot longer, so our reward should be, greater than those that awakened at the very end, or even, later on after them. And they likewise received every man a penny. Let's see. Verse 11, and when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house. So basically, they were just thinking they were hurt, a little upset that they didn't receive more. They thought they would receive more of a prize, but, every man is going to receive salvation, and that penny represents the kingdom of heaven. They all going to receive that salvation. That's what that ultimately goes into. But then there's, but of course, there's going to be multiple layers. That's why there's a 144,000. The top of the governing body, the government of the 1/3 body. It's going to be levels and proper and hierarchy in it, but they all receive that same penny of the kingdom of heaven, of salvation. So that's that reward the Most High is going to give, and that's everything. That penny that represents that's the parable of the kingdom of heaven, and that's worth everything. No matter if you was in it from the beginning, or ahead of everyone else, or at the very end. So just keep the faith and be happy with not, like David said, if I could be a doorkeeper in the kingdom of heaven, he'll be basically like infinitely blessed, and that's that penny. So going back to let's see, Hebrews 11:6 again, going back to the rewarder word right here. Let's see. And we'll get the second root word right there. See, because a lot of these words have root words, and some of them have one. Then there's a combination, like a combination of words. So we'll get the second one right there in red, G591. It says to deliver, to give away for one's own profit, what is one's own, to sell. So the Most High is going to deliver that through who? The deliverer, the anointed deliverer, Yahweh Shah. So what is one's own? So Revelations 3:11. Behold, I come quickly, the deliverer, right? Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So that's that penny, as representation of that penny, because going to be joint rulers and heirs. Nation of kings and priests. Yasher Allah means Israel means he is a prince of the power. So that's that crown. Princes wear crowns. The rulers of the earth. So that's what the Most High is going to deliver unto those that is their own. That penny, and then it's going to be that crown that they receive, for enduring into the end. Let's see. Salaki, let me get this right here. 1 Corinthians 9 and 25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. That goes in being controlled, self-disciplined, Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, and that word mastery goes into the sports. Like Kobe Bryant was mastering his craft of playing basketball. He pretty much worked harder than anybody, like as far as he trained I think 3 times a day, 3 different times of the day, like early in the morning around 4 to 6, then midday around noon, and then again later on in the day. He was a trainaholic pretty much, and so he did all that for a corruptible crown, because if he won, because it wasn't guaranteed that he would win the championship that year, he did all that and didn't win anything most of his years in the NBA. And then when he did win the championship, what happened? It just lasted for 365 days, because the very next year it would be another champion crowned, unless they had repeated as champs. So it's a corruptible crown. So now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible crown, and that's that crown that's going to be delivered by the Messiah through the Most High, through Yahweh sending his right arm, Yahweh Shah, to deliver those incorruptible, spiritual, eternal crowns that will never change. Second Timothy 2:19. Nevertheless, the foundation of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai standeth sure. And that's that Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, because it's a sure foundation that'll never change. Nevertheless, that foundation is the calm in the eye of the storm that's going to be swirling around everyone. It's going to be swirling around in these last days. Verse 19 again from the top. Nevertheless, the foundation of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai standeth sure, having this seal, the seal of the elect. The Lord Yahweh knoweth them that are his, and that's the elect of Israel, the 1/3. And let every one that nameth the name of Mashiach depart from iniquity. So what's iniquity? Sin. So that lets you know you got to be keeping these commandments to the best of your ability, in the name of Yahweh Shai. So if you're not departing from sin, then you're staying dirty, and you're making, Yahweh Shai's sacrifice null and void for your salvation. Going back to Hebrews 11 and verse 6 again. Going back to that second root word in the rewarder. So this says to let's see, and the second part right there, it says what? To pay off, discharge what is due. So what is that? So to pay off. So when you have a mortgage, when you call into that mortgage company, that bank, talk to the mortgage department people, the lender, the what's that person, the write-off person, whatever. Forget the name of it right now. The underwriter or whatever for your loan. Or you call to that department, you ask them what the payoff is. Meaning what's the remaining balance of that mortgage, and they'll give you that number for that mortgage, right? The price of it. So we have that's a carnal mortgage, right? And so we have a spiritual mortgage that we're paying, and we're storing up and creating a balance, that we can withdraw from when the Messiah returns. And so the word mortgage means death pledge. The word mort means death, and gitch or gauge means pledge. And so that's a death pledge. So that's why people have a mortgage. When they get a house, they have that all the way until they usually don't pay it off. That's why it's called a death pledge. They don't let you know the true meaning of a mortgage, but it's a mortgage. That's a payment you make until you die, or whatever, right? But you have your own roof, you have your own house, which is cool, but that's just what it means. And so we have a spiritual, but the true death pledge should be spiritual, He that endureth until the end, the same shall be saved. So we have a spiritual death pledge, which is keeping the commandments, rehearsing the righteous acts in the name of Yahweh Shai, and having a faith until the end. So that's what that's about. So to pay off, discharge what is due. So we're hoping that we have a payoff at the end of this. we're hoping that to have that spiritual payoff from the Most High, because that's what the disciples, the then disciples asked the Messiah. He said, "We left off everything. Forsaken everything to follow you. What shall we receive?" That's that payoff, that spiritual payoff, and that spiritual mortgage, that spiritual death pledge that they made, and they're hoping for that spiritual payoff. So that's what's coming. He that endures to the end, and the Messiah said, "You will be on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel." That's the 12 tribes of Israel. I mean, that's the 12 apostles. That's their spiritual payoff. We all will receive that same penny, but we will all have a different spiritual reward. Spiritual portion. Different levels. Some greater than others. But hey, we all have that foundation of that penny. Which is everything. That's all you need, because you won't feel that thermonuclear fire and that fire and that hellfire and brimstone, and that chariot laser beam fire. You don't want none of that. I'm cool with just a penny. I don't, if it's not in the will of the Most High for me to receive more than that, that's totally cool, because I'll be infinitely blessed with that penny. And everyone else that have that same, that's a part of the elect. Lord willing, we have that number. So that's that spiritual mortgage, that payoff right there. That death pledge. So our death pledge is that spiritual fiery trial and tribulation every day. Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. So our spiritual death pledge is our reasonable service. And what's people's reasonable service in Babylon the Great, aka America? To have a job, making carnal money to pay that debt, pay that note off, right? That's their reasonable service, to have that roof. But our reasonable service in the spirit is to make our body a living sacrifice unto Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shah, to hopefully be acceptable, to receive that spiritual payoff. Matthew 16 and verse 19. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whosoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Well, that's, that's part of that walk right now at the end, because those of the elect, especially the prophets, elders and teachers, even a part of the elect, because it said, he said, he that toucheth these little ones, it'd be better if he tied a great millstone around his neck and thrown into the ocean and went out that way, instead of touching one of the little ones, which means the elect that awaken, to the truth. So the blessing for the elect, they will receive the kingdoms of heaven by, if they send up a curse. Remember, like Elisha, I believe it was the prophet Elisha, he cursed those children and called them bald head, right? And mocked them. He sent up a curse to the Most High, and the Most High sent that mother bear, and mauled those kids to death. So that same authority will be given to the prophets, elders, and teachers in these last days. That's awakened back to the truth. That are of the elect. And if someone do them wrong and do them dirty, and they offend one of the children, the little children, one of the elect, and if they pray unto the Most High to curse them, if they send up a curse against that person, then that person is in trouble. And that's spiritual power, right? Through the words. If they send it up if they send up that prayer into the Most High. But that really wasn't the chapter. That really wasn't the verse I wanted. But that was great insight on that. That came out in the spirit. Matthew 6:19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. So that's what we're doing. That's our reasonable service. That spiritual death pledge. We're storing up our treasures in heaven. And in this spiritual death pledge, it has a reverse effect. It's not decreasing, it's increasing your payout, When the Most High sends the Messiah to return, our right, Yahweh's right arm. 1 Corinthians 15 and 53. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, those are spiritual bodies, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. And I believe that was in Isaiah somewhere. I think in that chapter, in the book of the prophet Isaiah. So that's that spiritual death pledge, and the reward and that payout are those spiritual bodies, that immortality, that translating, like Enoch did, right? And like also Elijah, they got translated, and then in order to get translated, you have to have a different grade body, and that's that spiritual body. It's going to be changed within a twinkling of an eye. And real quick, going back to what was that? Hebrews 11 and verse 6. Ouch. The word rewarder again. A lot of great meat, and just that word and that precept and word and that one word alone. So dropping down to number 4 right here. But right there too, it says to give back, to restore. So this lets you know that this is not no heathen. You can't restore, the Most High can't restore something to the heathen that he never gave. But we fell away from our heritage, and he's going to give it back to us, and then some, And this time is going to be the spiritual, eternal reward of the kingdom of heaven under Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. So right here now, number 4 down here says what? To requite recompense in a good or a bad sense. So the Most High is going to reward those depending upon that context. So in here, are they going to receive a spiritual reward or you're going to see a good reward or an evil reward that's just and righteous? Both of them going to be righteous, but it's going to be according to what you've done. I think if someone's been doing nothing but sinning and murdering and stealing and enslaving, that they're going to receive a good reward. Or that's just pure madness. Only a good slave would think that. That's brainwashed. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Mashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. Because Yahushua is the direct extension of the Most High. So the Most High is a rewarder of those in a good sense or a bad sense. You receive your good reward that's righteous of salvation, or the bad one, which is righteous evil, just evil of the judgment. Ecclesiastes 8 and verse 13. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. So if you're not fearing the Most High, and if you're being wicked, breaking the commandments, then it will not be well with them if you don't repent. And we know the chief wicked is Esau, Edom, the so-called white race, and also the 2/3 of Israel. So 2 Ezra 15 and 4, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So if you don't stay strong in the faith and you're weak in it, then thy faith is little, and then you're going to be destroyed in the end. You're going to give in. So Luke 9 and 23. And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself. And that's that daily sacrifice. Storing up your treasures in heaven and carrying your cross. Let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. That's that spiritual death pledge. So, we must, this all isn't for nothing though, it may seem rough at times, sometimes rougher than others, but it's all good because, let's just get this real quick. It just makes your spirit and mind that much sharper and make you that much better. First, for Ecclesiastes 7 and 2, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men. And the house of feasting here in Babylon the Great, that's the end of everybody. That's all about partying and having a good time, but not the men that are in the house of mourning. It says, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. See, there's men that are living, the men that are in the house of feasting, they're alive, but they're not living souls. They're dead souls. They're alive fleshly, but their spiritual mind is dead. And then that's the end of them, because they won't awaken and fulfill the righteous things in mourning, knowing that this place is wicked, And the living are the Israelites, the awakened 1/3. That's of the 1/3 elect. You see, that living right there, reviving of the springtime. You see, springtime is when all things been made new. And so around 1969, when the truth started coming back in the earth through the Holy Spirit in the name of Yahushua. That was the great reviving and the great awakening. And we're in the springtime when we're in the new year of awakening, in the new time frame, because we were spiritually dead during the slavery time. But now we have awakened back to the truth. And now that great reviving, is that's what that is, that great awakening now. And that's the living. Those that are called, that are awakened to the truth and are sincere, that will be actually the 1/3 elect. So verse 3, let's get the end of verse 2. And the living will lay it to his heart. So those that have awakened, they're going to lay to the heart, the mind, lay to their mind the wickedness and be in the house of mourning, and understand that it's not a time to be partying right now. It's a time to be getting our garments clean for the great marriage with the Messiah, in the kingdom of heaven, for that salvation. Verse 3, sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. So it's therapeutic and it's medicinal. It's medicines to the mind, spirit, and soul, to be getting your spirit right and cleaning up your vessel, cleaning up your spirit, getting it right for the great day of the Lord Yahweh shall return in the acceptable year of the Most High Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, because it's all not for nothing. As you can see, everything is coming to pass with the prophecies of the over there in the east, right? All of the kings of the earth, the militaries are coming down and converging into the so-called Middle East in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, in the soon-to-be battle of Armageddon, and that will be the ushering in, and that will that's beginning the phases of the end for Yahushua to return to redeem us. And then just stay strong in the faith, in the name of Yahushua, and Lord willing, we're of that number of the elect. So with that being said, I hope this video is edifying. To the next video I say, Shalom, Bahashem Yahushua.